Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and I'm so happy to have you over here, and I'm gonna keep you hooked for the next 5 to 7 minutes, okay? And today we're gonna be talking about something extremely important, okay? This needs to be spoken about, and this myth and this common misunderstanding needs to be busted, and today I am gonna bust it. So today we're gonna be talking about emotions. Now, we've all heard something about emotions, right? There's positive emotions and there's negative emotions, right? We've always juggled between them both. So now there are certain set of emotions which are positive. Now, when I ask you this question, tell me some positive emotions. Something would have come to your mind which is excitement, joy, etc., Or something in the negative emotions would have come anger, sadness, anxiety, and so on, right? There's so many different kinds of negative emotions. And this is exactly how we have known emotions all the while. And this is exactly what we have thought about what emotions are. But what if I told you anger is not a negative emotion and feeling excited or happy about something is not a positive emotion? Now, you might be a little confused, because this goes against everything that we have ever learned in life, right? Now society has always conditioned us in a way where we are led to believe that there are this particular set of emotions. Now, if a person needs to be happy in their life, then they need to make sure that they feel these emotions continuously over and over again to have a fulfilled life. And that's exactly what I call bullshit. It is, and you will know why. At the same time, you would have probably also heard feeling happy or feeling extremely excited or enthusiastic is a positive emotion. Once again, bullshit. So I'll tell you why. Because now think about it this way. Now, for example, let's take for an example a positive experience, okay? Now, let's say I was at work and I had a great day at work, and let's say I got a promotion at work, and now I've become the boss, and it's a great day for me. So at this point, I'm feeling amazing, I'm feeling so happy, I'm feeling full of joy, I'm feeling so bloody proud of myself. And being proud is a great feeling to have, right? Like, being proud is what we call a positive thing to feel. Everyone wants to feel proud of themselves, and that's not bad, okay? So now here's what happened. I got promoted from my job. I felt super happy, and the next thing I knew, that emotion made me feel so self-righteous. It made me feel so full of myself that at this point I became all about myself. I became more arrogant at work. I started having more attitude at work. I started being more complacent, because now, hey, I have achieved this feat. So, yeah, I can be this way. So now, that one positive experience led to an entire negative spiral. So what I considered to be a great moment, a positive moment, actually led to a series of experiences which I endured which aren't so great. Now, I'm sure you're starting to get the point. Now, for example, let's get to anger, okay? Now, we've all been angry, and every single time we see someone extremely angry, let's say we're walking on the road and we're looking at someone getting super angry on the road, we're like, fuck, what is this guy so negative about, right? And we just associate negativity with anger. Probably that guy is being negative, okay? But we associate such emotions, and when we see people giving out those emotions, or when we feel those emotions, we feel, gosh, I'm feeling so negative right now, okay? But the same moment, let me take another example. So I had like an argument with one of my work buddies in the past, and it was a terrible spat. So we didn't have it was not so pretty, to be very bloody honest, okay? So at this point, there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of words exchanged, and it's not a great feeling when you're feeling it, right? So I did not feel that great. I was feeling like, oh, like, why am I feeling this way? I bloody hate this. But at the end of it, once I left from the situation, that so-called negative experience that I had of feeling that anger actually fueled me up. that anger gave me so much more motivation, and it made me feel so motivated. And I'm like, now I'm gonna get some shit done, and I'm gonna do a lot of things. And that made me, that day I had one of the most productive days of my life, and I felt so bloody great at the end of it. That anger fueled me up to do so much more and to get out of my comfort zone and do many more things in life. So technically, was that really a negative emotion to feel if that led to a positive spiral in my life? So now at this point, if you're either you got the point or you're somewhere in between getting a little confused. So here's how. Remember this one thing which I tell myself all the time, and something which I remind myself all the time. Judge your emotions on what actions they lead you to take at the end of it, and not by how they make you feel in that moment. I'll repeat this for you. Judge your emotions by the actions that they lead you to take, and not by how they make you feel in that moment. We feel a ton of things in this moment. Right now I'm feeling bloody thirsty speaking, and I realized I didn't have water right before this YouTube video. So my point being, we feel emotions like every second of the time. Does it mean that we'll start like looking at every single emotion and like start speculating over it? No, we're gonna turn crazy if we do that. But in the end, it doesn't matter what I'm feeling right now. At the end, whatever I am going through this, it's gonna make me feel happy that okay, I'm done making this damn video, right? So right now, remind yourself of this very concept. Now I'll give you another one example, okay, which comes somewhere in between. Now you either have been through a heartbreak or you know someone who's been through a heartbreak. And that's always a shitty thing to feel, right? Like heartbreaks are always, are always made to seem like and contextualized in a very negative form. But I understand why it's like that, because it does make you feel very bad. We go through these phases when we feel those emotions, we feel those feelings in that time, and that makes sense. But here's what the thing, and I came across this post one of the days where I saw about how a person, now usually how do people respond to, what do people do when they have heartbreaks? They get a new haircut done, or they get their hair colored, or they get fit, they start working out extremely well, they start dancing, or they start doing all of those things, right? We've all heard those stories of transformation. But this one guy started podcasting. So this guy says, I've become a podcaster because I went through a heartbreak, and this was my way of getting out of it. So now tell me, was that heartbreak such a bad thing after all? Because in the end, it led him to a positive spiral. It made him do things which led him to do good. But at the same time, if it had gone in a different way, then you define it as a negative experience. And that's exactly my point. So now think to yourself, at this point, you would understand that there are no negative and positive emotions. And I don't believe that there are. Because I'm a true believer of this very fact that nothing exists in this world without a purpose. There's not one thing in this world that exists and requires us to ignore its existence, if that makes sense to you. There's nothing which exists in this world which we cannot benefit out of, to be more precise, right? So I'm a believer that there are no positive and negative emotions. Every single thing exists for us to feel. So remember one thing before we end this video over here today. Judge your emotions by the actions that they lead you to take, and not by the way they make you feel in that moment. And once you realize that, life will change. And if you like this video, smash that like button, and please comment on my video and share it, all the better, right? Thank you so much. Do read the description below, and do follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Take care. I'll see you next time.